All right. Welcome, welcome, my friends. I'm so glad you're all here. So I just asked about how you're celebrating this full moon in Sagittarius and some things that I've done. Last night, I went out and looked at the moon. She was gorgeous last night. She's going to be gorgeous again tonight. She'll be big for the next couple of nights, actually. And go to bed at a decent time. Yeah, good idea, Chris. I like that a lot. I was up late last night looking at the moon. And I went and did jujitsu this morning, which is something that I absolutely love, a way to move my body that I love. I got to have a dance party in my car, a singing party. I belted out. I have a new playlist that I'm building as I go. And so I've done a lot of things that fill me with joy today. And that is really what this full moon is about. As I was leaving, my husband says, I watch your videos and then I start to, all of the algorithms start to send me all of these videos of astrology and things like that. And he goes, everyone keeps saying every month, it's a new you, it's a new you, it's a new you. And I'm like, well, this one is really it. Like, I don't say that all the time. This one is legit. Like, this is a new you time. Before we get too far into that, I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. But before we do that, I want to introduce myself because we have some new friends here. So my name is Chris Batzner, and I am the owner and lead guide at Central Michigan Kundalini, where we do all things Kundalini, divine feminine, intuition, embodiment, and empowerment. I help women navigate major life moments, which is what I call menopause and beyond. And we do that through embodiment practices and somatic practices, somatic movement. We breathe, we move, and we remember how our bodies are the best healers that we have. Whether you are a woman or other, it's true, no matter what. And so this practice is close to my heart because it is just that. We follow the moon cycles, we move our body, and we breathe. And this full moon in Sagittarius is all about sovereignty, empowerment, authority, and autonomy. We have finished a chapter. It's not that we are finishing a chapter. We have finished a chapter in our lives. Some of you know about like the 7-year cycles. Maybe you've heard about the 7-year cycles. We do things in 7-year cycles. Our lives go through patterns of approximately 7 years at a time. And literally, whether this is a 7-year cycle for you or not, right now, we have just completed a cycle of some sort, whether it's been 6 months, a year, 9 months, 7 years, whatever the case may be for you. And now we have started a new chapter. So all of this work that we've done, all of these journeys that we've taken through the last 9 months, 6 months, whatever the case may be, 7 years, has brought us to this moment right behind us. And now we are looking forward and moving into our new expression and new version and new story with power and direction. And so tonight, this kriya, this Vastu kriya, is all about the heart because we must move forward with direction and truth, right? Right now, I call it the shiny object syndrome. We have so many ideas right now, and we have so many things coming our way and doing things, and possibilities and options are abundant, right? It's almost an overabundance of opportunity and options. And we have to determine and delineate which options and opportunities are most aligned with us. And that comes from our heart, where our place of truth resides. And so this kriya tonight gives us a moment or more to tap into our heart, into our place of truth, so that we can use that as we move forward, as we have these opportunities, as we change who we are and express ourselves in new ways. We know deeply who we are at our core. So this Vastu Kriya, if you've never done Kundalini with me before, this way we do Kundalini is We start with sound. We sing. I don't call it chanting. I say singing because sometimes people get a little nervous when they talk about chanting. Chanting has different connotations. We raise our voice. We vibrate with our own bodies. And then we start to move. And when we move in set movements. They're called kriyas. It's a complete set of movements, and it's almost like repetitive movements. Some of it is familiar to yoga, if you've done yoga before. Some of it is different than yoga, and we move through very different ways in this full Kundalini kriya. So we have big kriyas and we have mini kriyas within it, these sets of movement. I will lead you. We do them for a set amount of time, and I will lead you through these movements so you don't have to worry about a thing. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to breathe. I'll show you any options that are available to you. And when I first started Kundalini yoga, it was very much a practice of rules. It was very masculine, of structure, of you have to do it this way for this amount of time or you're doing it wrong. Literally, I had teachers say that to me. You do it wrong. That is not how I teach Kundalini. That is not anything that I am about. If any of you know me, you know that I am 100% not about that. And so even here in this Kundalini practice, I give you suggestions. I give you a framework, that masculine structure, that organization, for which you can use to express yourself in your own way. So you get to change this. You get to adapt this. You get to make this your own in your own way. So if you want to know more specifically about this full moon in Sagittarius and what really is going on and what you might be feeling in ways to celebrate and have ritual and ceremony around this moon, hop over to my YouTube channel. It's just Chris Batzner. There's a video, a short 4-minute video talking about the full moon in Sagittarius, what is going on, what you can do, things to think about as we do this. So I'm going to stop talking about that because I want us to start to move our bodies. So as we get started, there are some mantras that you probably want to know about. I'm going to put them in the chat as I talk about them. The first one is what we say when we tune in, which basically means we're turning ourselves on. We're turning on our connection to source. We're turning on our awareness. We're turning on our focus as we begin our practice. And this one, I can't talk and type at the same time. Is Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. And this is in the language of Sanskrit. And so that's just the language of yoga. And it means, I bow to the holy, to the teacher within. And we just say that at the beginning. We sing it. And I'll show you what it sounds like when we get started. This kriya is full of mantras. So the next mantra we will use will be Wa Guru, and you'll see some similarities between some of our words tonight. Wa Guru is the next mantra we sing. And in Sanskrit, that means, wow, the universe is an amazing teacher. That wa is an exclamation. Wa Guru. Wa Guru. Wow, the universe is an amazing teacher. So here we are tapping into those offerings, those possibilities in the universe that the universe is really offering us and throwing our way right now as we become this new expression of ourselves. Wow, look at that. Wow, what an amazing experience. And then the next mantra is Sat Nam, and that simply means I am truth. I am light. And if you've done Kundalini with me before, some of those might be familiar to you. And then our final mantra, which we'll sing at the very end, is, I better make sure I get it right, Wa Hey. So there's the similarity, and I'm writing it differently. So it's simply the first part of that Wa Guru, but we extend it out. So it's Wa Hey, Wa Hey. Wa Hey. And this means, as we simplify it down to that exclamation, it is your awe for yourself, and it's a capital S self. So the amazement and the wonderment of the higher consciousness and the connection to source and your expression of yourself within that and that within yourself. Does that make sense? Kind of. Yeah. And so basically what this mantra is saying is it's guiding us to not hold on to what was, but to allow in what is. which is what this moon is all about. So that wahe is, oh, I am here for it. I am ready for what's coming my way and what is here. I am here. I am ready for it. That's what that mantra is, simplified down. Okay, my friends, let's get started. So you don't need a lot of props for this today. You will only need maybe a block to sit on. If you'd like to sit on a blanket or a bolster, you certainly can. And really, I think everything else will fall into place. So go ahead and grab your props. I'm going to move myself to the floor, move my camera up a little bit. All right. And if you have any questions or need anything, I'm going to keep a close eye on you, but feel free to put it in the chat and I will respond to it as we go. We begin by just simply coming to a comfortable seated position. And just take a moment. I always like to take a moment to settle in, honor the fact that we've taken this time for ourselves. And feel our body. So much of this practice is about awareness. What are you aware of within your body and around your body and your environment? I was talking to someone the other day and they were talking about how they went through life for so long not even realizing they had anything below their neck. And that is such a vivid description and such an accurate description for many of us. And so right here, right now, we are settling into our body. Feel the breath moving into the back body, into the hips. Soften the jaw. Take a couple of sighs. Maybe rub your hands on your body. And then maybe our eyes close, or our gaze can just simply soften as if we're fuzzing it out. And we bring our hands together. Let's rub them against each other. So we do this, creates a little friction, a little bit of heat, a little bit of connection. It also stimulates those nerve endings that run through our arms right into our heart. So already we are tapping into that place of truth, that heart within us. And then we press the palms together, thumbs come to the sternum. And this is the first time we get to sing together. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Feel free to listen or join in. No one can hear you, you're muted, it's okay. Let's take a full breath before we begin. Let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. Release the hands and we just move into Sufi grind, and this means circles with our upper body. Inhaling as we circle forward. Exhaling as we circle back. And if you need to shift the way you're seated, you can sit in a chair, your legs can come to a straddle, whatever feels good to you. I just want you to focus on the sensation of this movement. Eyes can remain closed. Breath is steady. This is not a race. I love Sufi grind. It is one of my favorite ways to move my body, and this is often how we begin our practice in Kundalini. It just anchors us into that root chakra, into the sit bones, into our body. And then gently switch directions. We still follow the breath, inhaling as we circle forward. Exhaling as we circle back. As we find those new expressions of ourself, we must stay firmly rooted in this present so we don't get blown away and overwhelmed. as we do new things in new ways. And the Sufi grind does just that, really anchors us into that root, into our body. Almost there. As you inhale again, come to center, hold the breath in the body for a moment, retain the breath, and lift the pelvic floor. We call that root lock. Be absolutely still for a moment, retaining that breath. And then exhale, release. Take a moment and just breathe right here. Welcome to your practice. Welcome to the full moon. Welcome to your new chapter. For the next posture, we're going to bring our peace fingers out. And the thumb is on the other two fingers. The movement is simply this. We inhale as we touch our fingers overhead and we tap them twice. So we tap, tap as we inhale. Exhale, fingers tap the earth. And that's it. Inhale, tap twice overhead. Exhale, tap the earth. I like to have my fingers touching each other so that my fingers are squeezing, the sides are together as I move them. The eyes can close. And this can be as gentle or as vigorous as you'd like. Maybe you want to put a little energy to it. You get to play with it. And if this is too much on the shoulders or your arms just simply get tired, simply bring them in front of your heart. Tap the fingers twice and then bring them to the earth. And maybe we call in a mantra that we say to ourselves. That mantra of Sat Nam, I am truth, I am light. You can always have that in your head as a focus. We inhale as we say Sat, exhale as we say Nam. On your next inhale, interlace the fingers overhead, pointer finger to the sky, hold the breath, squeeze the arms towards the ears, lift the pelvic floor. Feel that energy moving upwards through the spine, through that Sushumna Nadi, that primary channel in our body. Exhale, release. Let the hands rest palms up in the lap for a moment and breathe. Let those shoulders soften. Feel the shifts that are already happening in your body. This is a practice of awareness, so let that subtlety of shift happen and really pay attention to it. Good. Let's take our legs straight out in front of us and then take them a little bit wider than hip distance. If you're on a yoga mat, maybe as wide as the mat. Mine are actually a little bit wider. We are not going into a straddle. We are keeping our legs less than 45 degrees open, less than 90 degrees, sorry, less than 90 degrees. I don't know my angles anymore. Palms face each other. As we inhale, we reach to the sky. Flex those feet. As we exhale, we reach towards the left leg. Inhale to center. Exhale towards the right. And that is our next movement. So the beginning of this practice is a lot of pumping and stirring and shifting and charging up. so that we have this reserve of energy for when we move deeper into the practice. And we'll start to find some stillness, we'll start to incorporate some different breathing because we've charged ourselves up, and now we get to kind of use that to propel us into the right groove, the right roadmap, the right direction. And by right, I mean most aligned. So let this be almost like a bellows. Inhaling to the sky, exhaling towards the earth. And I like to think of this as upward motion, outward motion. So it's not up and down, it's up and out. Rest when you need to. Hands can be at your heart. Hands can be on the earth. One more on each side. Inhale to center, hold. Exhale, release. Whoo, take a breath. Feel that flush of circulation. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and make our way to stand. So when we stand, we're going to make our way into goddess pose, which is what I call horse stance, also in Kundalini. So we're kind of feet are wide, heels are in, toes are out. If this doesn't work in your body, you can do a couple different things. You can just have your feet wide. You can have your feet wide with your knees bent, toes pointing forward. So you decide what feels best in your body. Elbows come up to goalpost arms. Belly is in here. And as we inhale, we're at center. We stay in that goddess pose. As we exhale, we twist to the left. Inhale to center, exhale to the right. Keep going. So now we are kind of pressing that energy outwards. We've just pressed it upwards from that root, and now we're moving it outwards and around. Calling in that mantra of Sat Nam, if you would like. I am truth. I am light. I am. Inhaling with Sat, exhaling with Nam. Let the jaw remain soft. If we need to put our hands on our hips or at our heart, if we need to straighten our legs, we can. Make this move your own. Really calling in that mantra of I am, of Sat Nam, to really let that new version of you manifest. Call in whatever that is, aspects of that most aligned self, the new chapter that's begun. After we exhale to the right, inhale to center, pause. Lift the pelvic floor, spread the fingers wide, keep the elbows at shoulder height, keep the knees bent. Exhale, release. Whee! we walk the feet back in, breathe here. And I invite you to be still for a moment, to just notice what's going on in your body. Often we want to start to move, to shake it out, which is a really good response. But at the same time, we're here to be aware. We're here to learn. So notice where you feel that energy in your body. Notice what your body is telling you as we supercharge ourselves. So this next movement we will do is starting with hands to the heart as we stand. And as we exhale, so this will be our inhale, as we exhale, we step forward with the left hand. Our left arm comes up, our right arm comes open. So it's kind of a funky place to be. It's like, I don't know, I always think of like jazz hands when I do this. As we inhale, we come back. As we exhale, the right foot steps forward, right arm up, left arm open. Inhale to center, and that's going to be our movement. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Keep going. And if this doesn't feel good in your body, I invite you to just take both arms up. If that twist and opening of that one shoulder doesn't feel good, just keep yourself even. And when you find your breath switched, just gently switch it back. We step forward on the exhale. We come back to center on the inhale. So it's almost as if we're stepping into that future, grabbing hold of it, and then bringing it back and filling ourselves up. Not holding on to what has already arrived, what has been, to what was. Inviting in what is now, what is new. On the next inhale, come to center and keep breathing. Hands come to the heart. Close the eyes or soften the gaze and feel the residual movement in your body. Release the hands. Good. We'll move back into goddess pose again. I think this is one of the reasons I like this kriya so much. Goddess pose is one of my favorite poses, and we get to do it twice in one practice. Hands come in front of our chest as if we're holding a beach ball, or I like to think of it as a box that holds the energy of my heart chakra, that place of truth. So I'm kind of holding on to my truth here. And this is a place where we can just breathe nice and slow and even. Or we'll take a breath of fire, which is that strong diaphragmatic exhale, reflexive inhale. So let's take a breath together. Let's inhale. Exhale. Feel free to close the eyes or soften the gaze. Inhale and keep breathing, or begin breath of fire. The inhale is reflex. There is always an inhale after the exhale. And there comes a point where your brain says, oh my gosh, take a breath. Ask the question, what if? What if I just hold on for another minute? What if I give it another try? Just one more cycle. And all of a sudden you'll feel a switch flip where your body starts to regulate, not your head. Imagine we're collecting all of that yummy heart energy, that delicious strength of our truth, the power of our own truth, and kind of compacting it and holding on to it so we can harness it and use it in this new chapter. Feel the soles of the feet. Feel the palms of the hands. Keep breathing no matter what else you do. Inhale, hold the breath. Feel the energy between your hands. Feel your truth. Digest some of that oxygen. Exhale, release. Straighten the legs. Walk your feet back together and just breathe here for a moment. Let your shoulders grow heavy. Maybe sway the hips a little bit. Grab a drink of water if you need it. Breath of fire can dry your mouth out. Good, and this may be where you want to block. I'll show you the option with it, and you can always remove it if you would prefer. So the block is going to go next to our right foot, off to the side. Palms are going to come out. Elbows are going to tuck into our ribs. So we're kind of in this outward motion. Yes, and the pressure on the ribs is something I want you to pay attention to. And then the right toes, so you see how I turned my knee open? The right toes come to the block that's tall. Now, this is where we breathe. We take long, slow breaths. And maybe you want to see what happens if you float your foot. Notice how the pelvis changes. So we are creating imbalance in the pelvis to bring strength to that joint, the SI joint, the pelvis, the hips. And that strength in the place where our emotions live gives us emotional fortitude, emotional strength to weather any storm. So you decide, maybe that foot feels real good on that block. Maybe you play with it back and forth. Breath is long and slow. Feel it move through the body. Good, keep the hands where they are. Release the foot. Walk yourself around or move the block to the left side, and we move right in. So open that knee to the side, toes come to the block, elbows stay in, palms stay open. And again, maybe we float that foot off. Maybe the toes stay down. You pick. Slow, steady breath. This may be a place to call back in that mantra of Sat Nam, I am. In truth, I am light. Feel the strength that you have as you hold this pose. This is not an easy pose. Look what you can do in your own body. It's kind of amazing. Your body is a miracle. Your breath is a gift. Notice how they work together. Almost there. And then gently release the foot, release the hands. Be still and breathe. Eyes can close. What is in your realm of awareness right now in this moment? Beautiful. Let's make our way back to seated, and we're going to move into Virasana. So take your block with you because we're going to sit on the heels. I like to tuck a block underneath my hips as I sit back. Now, this may not be something that your knees or your ankles really like. Come to an easy seated pose or sit in a chair. Those are both great options. Or legs out in front of you. You pick what feels best to you. Okay, so once we get settled, the motion to this will be a scooping motion, as if we're scooping up water and flowing it, dumping it over our heads when we kind of lean forward as we scoop it up. The head gaze follows the hands to an extent. So that's going to be the motion. So as we inhale, we scoop it up. Exhale as our hands come down. And a mantra to use here is Wa Guru. Wa Guru. Feel free to even say it out loud. Wow, the universe is an amazing teacher. And that knowledge, that wisdom, that completeness is washing over me. Eyes can close and just settle into the rhythm of this. Rest when you need to. And really let that imagery come in of just washing yourself with whatever you want to imagine. Warm water, bubble bath, golden light, whatever the case may be. Fuzzy blankets, I don't know. Just let them fall over you, that sense of ease, of comfort, of safety. Just letting it in. Wa Guru. Wa Guru. One more. And then let the palms rest down on your legs. Be still for a moment, continue to breathe, and let that mantra continue. Wa Guru. Wa Guru. And I find I want movement in my body still, excuse me. And so sometimes I rock a little forward and back, or I rub my hands on my legs. Just let that happen. That mantra continue. Beautiful. When we're ready, we'll make our way to seated again. Maybe you sit on a blanket or you sit on a block. Legs are out if you'd like. And our hands come back to our knees as we move back into Sufi grind. So we finish the way we began, inhaling as we circle forward, exhaling as we circle back. Calling in whatever mantra suits you. Maybe we return to Sat Nam, I am truth, I am light. Maybe we stick with Wa Guru. Wow, the universe is an amazing teacher. I am an amazing teacher. Keep going in the same direction here. And notice how different this feels now compared to when we began. Sometimes this feels like a totally different posture, a different movement the second time around. And then switch directions. Continuing to follow the breath. Inhaling as we come forward, exhaling as we come back. Welcome to your new chapter. Welcome to your new experience, new expression, new world. On your next inhale, come to center, retain the breath, hold it in the body, lift the pelvic floor, find your root lock, tuck the chin slightly, be absolutely still. Exhale, release. Breathe here for a moment. Feel the practice in your body, feel the energies in your body. And then we'll make our way to Shavasana. So we'll take our Shavasana before we sing our mantra at the end. So take a moment and get settled in. Maybe we lay down on our back, maybe we grab a blanket or bolsters or pillows, really anything to make ourselves completely comfortable here. Maybe you have an eye pillow that you'd like to put over your eyes to block out the light. Maybe seated feels more comfortable to you. But take your time and then settle in. Maybe exhale through the mouth as you settle, as you are finding stillness. Gaze can soften, eyes can close, and just release into the mat. Let the breath move into the back side of the body, moving from the back of the head to the back of the heart, to the hips and lower belly. Let the space between the eyebrows grow heavy. Feel the shoulder blades underneath you. Feel your body unravel and unfurl into the earth. Let your body grow heavier into the mat, melting, expanding, unraveling. Gently begin to deepen the breath, bringing your awareness back to this moment, back to your body, back to this new chapter of your existence. Call in a mantra or a focus, a direction. You are headed, an aspect of this new expression of you. Really anchored into your heart place, that place of truth, place of knowing. And then as you're ready, slowly put movement back in. Taking your time, keeping the eyes closed, keeping the gaze inwards, the focus inwards. Gradually moving more of your body, but only enough to wake up, to sit up, coming to a comfortable seated position. Eyes remain closed. Hang on to the sense of stillness, the sense of calmness. And we'll eventually meet in seated. Gaze, the soft eyes are closed. Body is still. We move into our mantra, and this mantra is one I love because it is breath at the same time as sound. Our left hand is on our heart. Our right hand is on our belly, below the navel. And the mantra is Wa Hey. This is an expression of your awe. Awe for yourself, awe for your life, awe for your experiences. Wow. Amazing. Wonderment. And on the inhale, we say Wa. Wa. And on the exhale, we sigh, hey, hey. And that's all it is. We'll do this for 2 minutes. Hey. Go at your own pace. Hey. Feel the movement of the breath in your body. And really bring in that sense of wonderment and release at the same time. This mantra, just like this whole kriya, is about not holding on to what was, allowing what is to be born. Let this be whatever it needs to be, whatever sound you need to make. Any release you need. Inhale, hold the breath, seal the lips, lift the pelvic floor. Feel your body. Exhale. exhale, release. Let the hands fall away, let the breath move. Feel the ease within you, the steadiness you have created. Let's bring our hands together one more time, rubbing them into each other, returning to that place of truth, stimulating that heart brain one more time to lead us off of our mat and out of our practice. Palms press, thumbs to the sternum, lift the heart. We finish with a single sat nam, a long sat, a short nam. I am truth, I am light is what that means. Let's inhale to begin. Sat Nam. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within guide your way on. Sat Nam. Namaste.